Hello, I'm Keith Richard, Master Casting Instructor certified by Fly Fishers International. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about the effects of fluorocarbon and nylon and what the effects that they have on the fly. If this is the water level and you're throwing a popper and you're attached that popper to fluorocarbon, this is fluorocarbon here in red. That fluorocarbon has a tendency to sink because of its specific gravity is greater than water. Fluorocarbon, unlike nylon, is going to have more of a tendency to sink. So if you have any time between the time that popper lands on the water and you give that time for that line to sink, it'll droop in the water like this, and when you pop that popper, it's going to make that popper dive under the water and then come back up. And then if you wait a little while again, the same scenario happens over and over and over. Unlike nylon, that will have a tendency to float on the water because the specific gravity is such that it floats better than a fluorocarbon. That popper, when you pull it forward, it's going to have more of a tendency to throw the water forward and gurgle with each pop. Here it is the initial pop, and then it stays flat on the water and the water settles. Again, popper's in position again for you to pop it again. So the popper is going to go more in a straight line with the surface of the water, throwing that water forward and have more of a gurgling sound as opposed to diving under the water as with fluorocarbon. Now if you're throwing something like a dry fly with fluorocarbon, because that fluorocarbon has a tendency to sink, and the fluorocarbon is indicated here in red, the longer you wait, the more that dry fly is going to have a tendency to sink beneath the surface. And if you're fishing a diving caddis, for example, that might be a reason to do this, to get that dry fly to sink, if you're throwing a caddis pattern and imitating a diving caddis. But know that if you're throwing a dry fly with fluorocarbon, it's going to have a tendency to sink that dry fly. If you're throwing a dry fly, indicated here by this small blue area here, and you're throwing it with nylon, the nylon is going to have a tendency to float. Well, that dry fly is going to have a tendency to float better. So this is the difference between nylon effect on your flies versus fluorocarbon's effect on your fly. I'm Keith Richard, Master Casting Instructor. Thank you for watching.